It's very important that everyone out there watch this video that's following my intro. It's by a gentleman whose account is Yes Mike Said It. He's a law enforcement educator. He's a civilian educator about safety, interactions with law enforcement, firearms. He's extremely well spoken, extremely experienced, and his breakdown of the following video is absolutely critical for law enforcement. It's been my experience that often law enforcement, many members of law enforcement, there are issues. There are issues with their perception of civilians. Their perceptions of themselves are significantly overinflated, and their egos are often very easily challenged, and they have to feel defensive to the detriment of the population and often to themselves. So please watch this video. There are very few people with this level of experience in law enforcement willing to objectively speak about the issues of law enforcement, training, discernment, and understanding individuals and situations and threats, and not being so willing to escalate and interaction with an individual to the point where it becomes violent and potentially lethal to either the individual or to the officer themselves. So watch this video. Please go to his account and follow him. He's got some really great, important things to say, and it's worth it. So, and to you, Mike, if you pick up in this video, I just couldn't stitch or duet yours, so I downloaded it and brought it back up. I hope you don't mind. I want you to know that I appreciate you. Thank you.
Hey, don't put your hands on me, man. I'm touching you, man. Don't just touch me for, man. Hey.
Damn, what the fuck?
Get down.
Hey, 612, you okay? 612?
I need another car.
They tweaking,
I need
man.
another car.
They ass tweaking.
Put your hands on me.
Okay.
Hey, tweaking, guys.
612, okay.
I'm in front of the liquor store on Hall.
Meanwhile, on the next episode of Tombstone Courage, Chicago edition, let's watch when an officer does too much. Y'all gonna learn out of 1300 West Jackson to wait for backup or know how to back down. I'll be back.
Damn, what the fuck?
Get down.
Hey, 612, you okay? 612?
I need another car.
They tweaking,
I need another
man.
car.
They ass tweaking.
Put your hands on me.
Okay.
Hey, tweaking, guys.
612, okay.
I'm in front of the liquor store on Hall.
So please help me understand, where was the exigency in all this? Where was the I need to take this person into custody? And then you got mixed martial artist or Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy Tom DeBlas saying, well, somebody woke up and chose judo today or Brazilian jiu-jitsu. This was the thing to do. This was absolutely not the thing to do. The only reason why you succeeded was because this guy wasn't more motivated, or better yet, just armed. That's just one. I'm still waiting to find the martial artist, mixed martial artist, Brazilian jiu-jitsu video that will show that it can outdo a bullet. I'm waiting to find out. Because you all sit here, Chicago Police Memorial Foundation, shouts out to you, understand your mission and your purpose, right? But you sit here and you put out videos in the hood of all places, telling police, or people who are, sympathizers of police, whatever the case may be, to think about the officers who got shot in the line of duty for the protection of the community that doesn't often appreciate them. And that's a wonderful message. But then you do foolish stuff like this. That girl could have been a 0110. And you know what that is? The UCR code for first degree murder. How many times do police trainers have to sit there and tell you all not to do things like this? Where was the... And then the thing is, the 6th district is right down the street. Like, not multiple blocks down the street, literally on the next block. So whatever in this situation happened, you didn't have control of yourself, officer, to the point where you could get the guy talking and then ask for another car. What was so exigent where you just had to grab him? You didn't go for your firearm. You didn't go for your taser, right? You just went right hands on and grabbed him, right? So use of force continuum, right? Okay, you got officer presence, intimidation, verbal directives, verbal resistance, some variation thereof, passive resistance, hands-on self-control, active resistance, hands-on hard control, less lethal weapons for an active an active aggressor, and then deadly force. So you just went hands-on. And then there was a guy on your right, or maybe your left. We don't know how the camera was oriented, but close to the point where this guy, window down, and you could tell the window was down, was talking about how crazy this was. And then you got to the point where you ended up with the guy on the bottom, but with you on top, and you're back to the cameraman who could have been armed. Armed. Come on. And you got people praising you, saying this was the thing to do. You're lucky you survived. You're lucky you survived. And then if you would have got shot in the line of duty, guess what we would have been watching in Chicago? All kinds of, the same thing they did with Ella French, plastering you all over the city as the praise us for being police officers because we're going out there doing the thankless job when you put yourself in a needless situation. There's a thing called officer-induced jeopardy. I remember, reading a training article, because I know you read my shirt, International, Law Enforcement Educators and Trainers Association, the things that we educators in law enforcement talk about. And I remember reading this article called Officer-Induced Jeopardy. That's exactly what this was. Officer-induced jeopardy. Now, I don't know the circumstances of the incident. You may have had every right to put your hands on him. But just because you have the right to put your hands on him doesn't mean there's a need to do it right now. Could you have waited? Come on, man. I guess your life don't matter. Then if it does matter, you need to do things to make it matter. Come on, man. Come on, bro.